Acme Comics, we are Played Out Podcast here doing our inaugural live podcast, sitting on the edge of the stage in the main room at Acme. Let's get things kicked right off because we got a limited time tonight. Who are you and what is your favorite Star Wars character?
My name is Brandon, and my favorite Star Wars character is Chewbacca. Anybody for Chewbacca?
Why?
Because he sounds awesome, and he's hairy, and he's like my buddy. He's like my buddy Matt here.
I feel like
he's big and hairy.
That's me.
I feel like there's something deeper to that we shouldn't go into right now.
I'm really tall, and he's really tall.
Oh, okay.
And I got a mad man crush on Peter Mayhew.
So you like him because he's someone you could play basketball with?
True.
Okay.
True. I don't stereotype people by their height.
If only we had Chewbacca dunking on somebody, that would have really piqued your interest.
Chewbacca dunking on R2-D2 would have been awesome.
I don't know how that would work. I guess he would use his jets and fly up to try to block him and get smashed to the ground.
That's true.
Nah.
Who's next? That's me, Brandon Chewbacca.
I am Matt, and my favorite Star Wars character is Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn?
Qui-Gon.
Seriously?
Yes.
That's right. He just pulled Qui-Gon Jinn.
Well, Liam Neeson. I mean, enough said right there.
His favorite Star Wars character is Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
That one we can live with, right? His favorite Star Wars character is the character from Taken.
That's just it. He trained Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan took down Anakin.
He did train Batman also, I guess.
That's true.
Something
His
important
favorite Star Wars character
that's
is Ra's
a
al
much
Ghul.
more respectable pick than I thought originally.
Liam Neeson, folks. No one cheers for Liam Neeson. I feel bad about that.
Liam Neeson, hip hip hooray!
One man clapping and a thumbs up.
Chewbacca!
All right, we'll
Off
take
the
it.
stage.
All right. Sounds good.
My name is Nick, and my favorite Star Wars character is Han Solo. Go figure.
Wow.
I know. I'm making a bold choice with that one.
Jeez.
The go-to character.
Yeah.
I like it because you can be Han Solo, I'll be Chewbacca, and he'll be Liam Neeson.
We're about the right height differential. I'm about 5'2", and you're about 6'12".
We could play these characters.
I don't know. I'd have a tough choice if I'm doing Rebel or Empire.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here we go. There I am. I'm back.
That'd be a tough choice.
So, Rebel or Empire?
Yeah.
Rebel or
Both
Empire?
have their pros and cons.
You know what's crazy about that is the Rebels never really did put forth a plan for governance after the Empire. Like, they were just kind of like, yeah, down with the Empire. Well, what are you guys going to do afterwards?
Nope,
we'll
no
figure
plan
it out.
whatsoever. Interesting enough, I'm neither for the Rebel Alliance or the Empire. I'm actually for the Trade Federation.
So who was in the Trade Federation?
Isn't that all the robots? The droids?
We're talking new
yeah, no, I know.
New Star Wars.
Yeah, I was joking.
We're going old school here, man.
I was going new school.
Well, Empire has the cooler uniforms.
I guess if you want to pick who your government based on uniforms.
That's how I vote.
Oh, okay.
Got to keep the crowd going.
So let's talk. The news. The latest news for the new Star Wars films. One of the most recent pieces of big news is that there is going to be a new Star Wars film every year starting in 2015.
Crazy.
Wait, why does this make you upset?
Well, I like having enough time in between. Imagine if they came out with a new Lord of the Rings every year.
That would be awesome.
No, because it would be too quick. Like I need that time to soak in everything that I just watched.
It takes you multiple years to soak in a movie.
Yeah, how much time do you need?
Yeah,
just as a point of reference.
I need 3 years.
Point of reference.
I need 3 years.
You realize that the Lord of the Rings didn't come out yearly, right?
No.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did for sure.
Well, shut up.
For sure. I mean, it was every December. I'm just throwing it out there.
Did Harry Potter come out with every year?
No, Harry Potter was not every year.
For some reason, I thought it was 3 years in between.
Nope.
Was it 3 years between
Lord of the Rings was definitely
between the original Star Wars when they first came out?
There was a bunch of years. It was 77, 81, and then I think 87 or 89.
Nick, you don't know. You weren't even born yet.
That's true. I was born for Jedi. I was around for Jedi. All right.
Okay.
So some of the movies will be the episodes from the main storyline, and some of them will be spin-offs featuring side characters from the Star Wars universe. So if you've been wondering what IG-88's been up to for the past 3 decades, I'm sure that question will be answered.
I know I have.
Which are you guys more excited about?
Main episodes.
Main episodes? Okay, I might be more excited about the spin-offs.
Well, there's talk of Han Solo, young Han Solo spinoff, and a Boba Fett spinoff. So it's definitely a close call, but for sure the main episodes.
I think the young Han would be awesome, especially if you get introduced to him and Lando and kind of get some backstory. You know.
What are some other ideas? Anyone in the crowd have any ideas? What would you like to see off a spin-off?
All three of you.
Make Shadows of the Empire. That's the one I was hoping Brian would say. I actually put him in the audience to say that.
He's a plant.
He's a plant. If Shadows of the Empire...
It's Todd, everyone.
Todd, how would you feel if Shadows of the Empire got made into a movie at this point with all the Star Wars movie coming out?
I don't think it's out of the question right now. We've really, we're really seeing a renaissance with Star Wars with the new, the new hands in the pot, if you will. So I think Shadows of the Empire is kind of an obvious choice. Like if they try to stick, I've heard that they're kind of foregoing a lot of the established extended universe stuff or expanded universe stuff.
Yeah.
But I think. Man, there was some great stuff in there.
Yeah,
Prince Shizor and the whole Black Sun stuff. I mean, I think it would really lend itself to film.
Actor you'd like to see play Prince Shizor?
Wow. You know what? My default answer for most things when I'm asked this is Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender for anything and everything.
Actually, can I tell you something? Michael Fassbender would actually be awesome in that role.
Right?
It actually would. And he'd
insert that into like any question like that. And
Michael Fassbender as Prince Shizor and as Dash Rendar.
Oh man, in the same film.
Well, in the same film, why not?
He's covered in prosthetics as Shizor. That would totally work.
Yeah.
I would totally watch that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it's settled. It's settled.
Michael Fassbender?
Yeah,
I was thinking, who's the guy from Vampire Diaries with the really dreamy eyes?
Are you serious?
That would be everyone in Vampire Diaries.
Thank you, Todd. Everybody in Vampire Diaries.
So what would be like a must-see spin-off for you guys?
He said, I know it's not a character necessarily, but even if there was just a Dash Rendar film, having played, even though it's a really, really hard video game, Shadows of the Empire, it'd be really cool to see Dash Rendar in a film, and some of the stuff that goes on in that game would be awesome. Even though he's not really a big established character, not in any of the movies, I just think Dash Rendar would be really cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Dash is your choice?
No.
What do you think?
I would like to see Han because, like I said previously, I would like to see him and Lando when they were younger and get some more backstory there. I think that would just be awesome.
That is supposedly that's one of the spin-offs they're talking about.
Ooh.
I would like to also see some movies that took place after Star Wars that involve the Ewoks.
Oh yeah, we're definitely due for another Ewok spin-off.
Are there any movies like that?
Battle for Endor 2?
Oh, okay.
There was
so that
Battle
movie's
for
already
Endor.
made. Cool. Awesome. I'm set. So whatever they do at this point, I already have my Ewok movie.
Yeah, there you go. And the thing with young Han Solo trilogy, there were books for it already. And the books, it's basically, if they made it into a movie, it's like Fast and the Furious with spaceships.
Cool.
So this is before he saves Chewie and Chewie becomes indebted.
No, the trilogy starts with Chewie following him around, actually.
Oh, okay.
So we only get the backstory.
Question, at what point did he get the Millennium Falcon?
He got the Millennium Falcon. He won it off of Lando in a Sabacc game.
Would that have been when he was a kid?
Yeah.
Okay,
This would have been the third part
young.
of the trilogy, I believe.
Side note.
And
Matt knows this because this is my go-to story. I teach at Millennium Middle. Our mascot's the Falcon.
Really?
We're the Millennium Falcons.
That's awesome.
Just saying.
That is really cool.
That's why I took the job.
That's that particular reason. You don't care about enriching young minds. You just wanted to be a Millennium Falcon.
I teach at Millennium Middle, and our mascot's the Falcon. The Millennium Falcons.
All right, so another piece of news. It's not confirmed yet, but John Williams is expected to return to score the new film.
Oh,
yes,
my gosh.
It's pretty much amazing.
Yes,
oh
he's
my
fantastic.
Gosh.
So
that would be awesome.
And obviously we all love John Williams, but I'm wondering what composer you guys would like if John Williams, like just from other movies.
Matt already knows my go-to is Hans Zimmer. Anytime,
Hans Zimmer.
any movie that's scored by Hans Zimmer, I can't get enough of it.
That'd be a good choice.
And Inception, I love the soundtrack to that movie. He did the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. He did, what else did he do? Gladiator. He did the soundtrack to Gladiator. That's all I'm saying.
Like that soundtrack, do you?
Oh, my gosh.
That soundtrack is awesome.
That soundtrack is off the hook. If you couldn't get John Williams, then definitely Hans Zimmer for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would go with a video game composer if I had to choose any, and that would be Jeremy Soule.
What's he do?
He is best known for his works in the Elder Scrolls series and Guild Wars.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of ambient themes and everything, but he can really do like heavy scores and stuff like that. Just has a nice mix to it, and if that translates to the Star Wars universe, I think that would be really awesome.
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
I would go with the guy that did Jurassic Park.
that was me.
Wait, who was the guy who did Jurassic Park? I thought that was John Williams.
Was it?
No, I don't know. I just assumed he did every big movie ever.
You're probably right. In that case, I will go with Skrillex.
Skrillex?
Yes.
Skrillex for the Star Wars
I would have liked
movies.
Skrillex to do the Star Wars score.
That would be awesome.
The guy who did the soundtrack for Black Ops 2. Well done.
Yes, could you imagine a lightsaber battle to dubstep?
That would be awesome, actually.
I can't imagine it, but I will try.
Put Skrillex in for the music when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fought Darth Maul at the end.
That would be surprisingly
awesome.
appropriate.
Yeah. This is going to happen.
Okay. All right, we'll go with it.
So in related news, original actors who are interested in appearing in the movie. Mark Hamill is on board. Carrie Fisher is on board. Harrison Ford is on board. And Warwick Davis.
Listen, Warwick Davis was the key to the whole thing. If they couldn't get him, it wasn't worth it. Because he plays like 17 characters throughout the films.
Thank God, because honestly, I didn't have time. I caught that this morning, and I was just like, okay, I know he was the Ewoks. Please tell me they're not bringing the Ewoks back.
He was also young Greedo.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Really?
Young Greedo.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
In the pod racing scene when they have the little tiny Greedo.
Yeah.
He was also in the crowd in episode 1 in Jabba the Hutt's crowd for the pod racing.
Oh, so they got him all over the place.
His actual face was in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, he's a go-to Star Wars guy. Warwick Davis. Saw him on a Segway at Star Wars Celebration last year. Warwick Davis on a Segway. Just throwing it out there. Yeah.
Now, did you approach him, or were you like, no, this is Warwick
that Segway
Davis?
Was
One
going
does
fast.
not simply approach Warwick Davis.
You have to imagine a gentleman his size, which is nothing wrong with that, on a Segway. He can really, really make some speed. He was like, he was going fast. So Warwick Davis on a Segway, very fast, faster than it took for me to get the camera out. I could not even get the camera out on time.
So he's like a rare gazelle. Like, you have to catch him, otherwise he's gone.
The first thing I thought of when I saw Warwick Davis going by on a Segway was rare gazelle.
As you should.
It was rare gazelle. I was like, that is like a rare gazelle.
And so there's some other kind of news about that news, which is that apparently Lucasfilm is already sending a personal trainer to Carrie Fisher, I think on a weekly basis, to get her back into shape for Leia.
Yeah.
Slave girl.
So, like, she is fully on board.
She's committed.
Yeah, which is a good sign. And
She's committed.
And Mark Hamill is already publicly talking about, like, his vision for what he'd like the new Star... He's very specifically would like the new Star Wars movies to be more throwback to the old style of Star Wars. He said more props, more practical effects.
That would be the right way to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Less Jar Jar type
I don't know that there are
less CG.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to George Lucas and what he did, but it's, ton of CG. Even in like Indiana Jones, the last Indiana Jones, like when you get to a point where you're CGing gophers, like there's like that gopher that comes out of the ground and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's CG. How hard would it have been to go get a gopher and have it just pop out of the ground? There's got to be trained gophers somewhere.
Just do what Caddyshack did.
It would have been cheaper.
Wasn't that a puppet, or did they really...
I would have liked the puppet better.
I would have looked better.
You think maybe they put a gopher inside the gopher puppet and then trained it?
True.
That would have been amazing.
That happened.
All right.
That happened.
I feel like we're going off on a tangent here. So, also on board from the original trilogy is George Lucas is going to be a creative consultant, so he may very well ruin this for us.
Yeah, but you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I guess so.
You got to have George Lucas involved.
That's true.
It would feel weird without it. It'd feel icky.
Without George Lucas?
Without George Lucas.
That's the thing.
Icky.
Empire, arguably the best Star Wars movie, and he didn't direct it really, and didn't he get another writer?
I don't
remember this bit of trivia.
Anybody in the audience
this?
know?
Empire Strikes Back. George Lucas was kind of not as involved with that one, correct?
Does our same director as the first one? Gotcha. That's the Star Wars trivia master.
Oh, yeah. That is our Star Wars trivia champion.
Our new Star Wars phone-a-friend.
So also Lawrence Kasdan, who was a writer on Empire and he was a writer on Raiders of the Lost Ark, he's back on board, and so hopefully he'll be in some sort of support capacity, because as we know, the writer of Toy Story 3 and Little Miss Sunshine, whose name escapes me right now, he's going to be the main writer so far, it seems.
Cool.
Of the,
I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool that they're bringing a lot of people back,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be important for how well this next trilogy pans out.
They have everything set up. They're setting themselves up with a lot of talented people.
Yeah.
So at least you can give them that much credit. They have a lot of talented people around them, and that's going to be very helpful.
The amount of money this
Todd.
next trilogy is going to bring in is going to
sit up here with
just
us.
blow people's minds, I think.
And so that actually brings up my next question I have for you guys. So what would be your dream writer-director combo for the new Star Wars trilogy?
Oh, God.
Man, kind of threw that at me. I
don't know any writers.
like in all, I'm a big fan of the choices that they're making so far. I think JJ is a great choice for bringing on to the new trilogy. Because here's the thing: he went into Star Trek in 2009 really not being a fan. He went in and just kind of went in it from a detached perspective, familiarized himself with the material, and then cut out the non-essential stuff. He took what worked, which was the triangle, your Kirk, Spock, McCoy triangle, and just adrenalized it. He stuck it in the heart, and he said, go that way really fast. And I think it worked. He made it sexy. He made it relevant again, and it's cool to be a Star Trek fan again,
Yeah.
Some people hate it. Some of the people that, the purists, which I guess for a long time I was a purist. I probably, if he hadn't have handled it so well, because I think the 2009 movie is pretty great. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that literally is the thing that got me into Star Trek.
On that end, to have him come into...
Yes, I'm that guy.
To have him come into a franchise that he states is the reason he got into movie making in the first place. Like he states New Hope is like his whole reason for being. So to have him come into Star Wars, it's kind of a big deal. It's like having one of us do it. Like having somebody who has true love for Star Wars coming in and saying, "Oh, I get to make a Star Wars movie." That's pretty cool.
I'm just going to go ahead and agree with Todd. I love J.J. Abrams. I love everything he does.
You know what? People go off on him all day because of lens flares and all that. But I think that is that's a weak. I think it's a weak way to present it because he's frankly he's a hell of a director. He's a great director. He's a great narrative storyteller. And man, people gave Super 8 a hard time. I really liked it.
Oh, I liked Super 8 quite a bit.
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I thought it was very reminiscent of the classic amazing Spielberg stuff from early 80s. And everybody says that, but I think it's really true.
I also like Super 8.
Oh yeah, Super 8. What up, Super 8?
I'd like to see a
I'll be the oddball out.
I'd like to see a Tatooine version of Lost.
Man.
Yes.
I would watch that too.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Let's move on to Matt.
Let's move on. Karate Kid 2.
Yeah. I'm terrible with names, but for a writer, the guy who wrote the first Ninja Turtles movie.
All right.
And for director, the guy who directed The Departed.
Oh, I thought they were going to say the first Ninja Turtles.
That would be awesome, because in my eyes, those are two perfect movies.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean...
I didn't see that one coming from Matt. I'm not going to lie.
Don't get me wrong. I was going to say who directed and wrote both the original Turtles movie. I'm sure the writer for the Turtles movie probably isn't doing too much. But
you never know.
But the director of The Departed, I know he's a well-known guy, right? Who directed The Departed? Todd, I know you know.
Some guy.
Departed was... M. Night Shyamalan?
No, it was... You've got it. Was it Brian De Palma?
Look
it up. You've got the entire vast.
If anybody knows who directed The Departed,
Todd is
Scorsese. There we go. I knew it wasn't a no name.
Not a big name in movies, not at all. So it's understandable.
I never heard
no
of him before The Departed, so
understandable.
Scorsese, some guy named Scorsese,
some scorched earth guy.
He directed a film about a guy in a taxi. Not interested. Next question. Next question.
I will just pitch it to you this way. Tyler Perry presents Star Wars Episode 7.
Why do you got to take it to a dark place?
Yeah,
written by Hugh Boll. He doesn't even get to direct it.
Written by Hugh Boll. Are you serious?
No, because
it's weird because I'd probably still watch it.
I would definitely still see it.
I would still see it.
Definitely.
Because come on.
So oddly enough, I think I would like the guy that wrote the new Dredd movie.
Oh man.
And actually, you know what? That team, whatever that team was, the writer-director of that would be nice to see a new Star Wars movie in that particular style that they did it.
Handle like a bounty hunter film, right? Man, that'd be good.
Yeah. So let's move on to Wild Speculation. You guys down for Wild Speculation?
I love Wild Speculation.
All right, great.
Speculation. I'm an expert at Wild Speculation.
And we've already kind of been doing this, but so other than Han, Luke, and Leia, what original characters would you like to see back from the original?
The little Ewok.
Who wouldn't I like to see back?
Well, who do you think they might bring back? Let's put it that way.
Like original.
Yeah, sure.
People. Man, I don't know. Most of them are dead. No.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
All the good ones are dead. Alec Guinness is dead. So that's the well.
But they may bring him back.
Maybe they'll just bring the ghost back.
Yeah, that's.
Ooh, they'll bring him back.
We brought Tupac back. Yeah,
I was just going to say they'll do what they did with
Tupac.
Tupac.
Go down Tupac style.
Really, we just brought Tupac into a podcast.
Man, I don't know.
Using the technology.
Everybody that matters is coming back. You know what? I'll bet Warwick Davis will have something to do with it.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Old man Wicket.
Old man Wicket? That would be pretty awesome, actually. He's a
totally
tiny bear with a beard. I'm down for it.
Yeah.
We'll go Lando because I like his smile.
Yeah.
Well, they've talked. I think about Billy D coming back in some respect. He's.
But I want to see a movie like a 1970s version where he just hits on ladies all the time.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see them maybe try to adapt the novels, like the Han Solo novels and the Lando, Lando Calrissian and the Mind Harp of Sharu. That would be great. Come on, who wouldn't watch that?
Oh,
hottest
for sure.
Hottest title ever.
I think Young Han Solo is one of the planned spin-offs.
Romance novel right there.
You have to go the Young Han Solo spinoff. That would just be awesome. Did they ever actually? They didn't say, but did the Emperor? I'd like to bring the Emperor back because they just threw him down that pit, but we never actually saw him die. So if he actually came back in some capacity,
he could be more machine now than man.
Exactly. They do like a Vader thing with him.
That would be pretty cool.
That's what I would like to bring back. Because I mean, he got electrocuted, but he shoots lightning, so I think that's he has a +5 resistance to lightning.
So what you're saying is he's electric type? Pokemon reference.
You cornered him with Pokemon.
Yay, Brian.
Matt's
See you later,
Kryptonite.
Todd.
Yu-Gi-Oh for the win.
That was Brian in the crowd. Pokemon reference.
Squirtle.
I would like to see Wedge Antilles come back.
That would be cool.
I don't know if he died in the extended universe. I don't know, but I would like to see him back for this particular movie.
Or at least a mention
I'd
of
like
the
to
name. Mention these small characters.
I'd like to see Biggs come back in Spectre form.
Biggs?
Why? Why did he come back? Who knows? And just kind of guide somebody. Guide the next guy who's going to get shot down and
I want to
blow
see
up.
Jabba come back, but mid-transition from how he changes from male to female and he gets stopped in the middle. That would be
I'm going to
awesome.
pass on that version.
Yeah, why would that be a thing you'd want to see?
Why not? Well, that would just be awesome. It'd be creepy, but that would be George Lucas.
That's a whole different genre of movie.
And that's Matt.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, God.
So we know that the story is going to be about the younger generation of heroes, potentially the offspring of some of the original characters. So what do you think? What do you think the story is actually going to be about?
I don't know. That's the part that kind of scares me because if there's one thing I dislike, it's any movie that's a sequel that involves the old characters' kids.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones 4. Crystal Skull. Just saying.
Yeah.
It never seems to work out. It's hey, guess what? We got a new character. It's my kid. He's really awesome. Check him out. Not nearly as awesome. Sorry. Just doesn't. It never works out.
Well, it's just I want to know exactly what they're going up against because there's one master and one apprentice, right? And they're both gone. So if there's no more Sith,
well, maybe that's what it's about. Maybe it's about the new Sith.
See, I don't know. I'm imagining a Harry Potter type situation where it's just
he who shall not be named.
How cool would this be? Ready? All right, I'm going to lay this on you. So I said it here first in case it actually gets used, so I can keep
Drop it on me.
Ready? Han and Leia have twins.
Yeah.
The twin thing kind of happens in that family. Ready? One ends up being a Sith, one ends up being a Jedi. Just laying it out there.
Isn't that what actually happens in the books?
I have no idea.
I think that's exactly what happens in the books.
Crap.
I think Jason becomes a Sith and Jaina kills him. She's a Jedi.
All right.
Spoilers, sorry.
Wow, I am sorry.
That actually would be really cool, though. I mean, and then you have that.
And they have Anakin, too.
Going on.
I don't know.
I was thinking about Loki and Thor.
Oh, really?
You know how one's
that
evil, one's good?
That's always fun.
I want them to look just like Loki and Thor, too.
It's like
I want
Faith
Chris
and Buffy.
Hemsworth to play the next Jedi. He's dreamy.
He's dreaming.
Any Chris Hemsworth fans in the audience? Thank you. Next question.
So the way I see it is it's going to be a young Jedi girl who's just discovering her powers, and she's going to be torn between a rakish Sith and a kind of harmless, innocuous Jedi. It's going to be Twilight.
I see what you did there.
The new trilogy is going to be Twilight.
Yeah.
Will they sparkle?
Remember, everything goes back to Twilight.
Yes, when a Sith is exposed to sunlight, he will sparkle.
I will see it then.
Wait, you're down for that?
Why not?
Matt's a big Twilight
your
fan.
criteria for seeing this movie, honestly.
I'm down for combining multiple properties into one movie.
It's going to be a movie about Jedi Twilight plus a gender-confused Jabba the Hutt. That's Matt's movie.
That's just... Who wouldn't see that?
Me.
I would also pass.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see Iron Man
sitting alone
3.
in an empty theater.
If Tyler Perry movies get seen, then this would get seen as well.
He goes to the midnight showing of his film. He's like, yes, first seat. Nobody else shows up.
You wouldn't support me? Thanks.
I would support you. I'd be there.
No, forget it.
I would support you with a like on Facebook, and that is about it.
You hurt my feelings.
Okay, so the original trilogy, this is an arguable point, but the original trilogy had the Ewoks. Mm-hmm. The next trilogy had Jar Jar Binks. What do you think is going to ruin the new trilogy for everyone?
Fishmen.
Fishmen? Wasn't that kind of Jar Jar Binks? I mean, he lived.
He was kind of a fishman.
He was like a fish dog.
He's like a fish dog, yeah. He's like Goofy but fish.
Exactly. It was a weird hybrid, right?
It was a weird hybrid.
Desert men.
What is it?
Desert men.
He's at this point, he's just listing master robots from Mega Man.
Oh, okay.
He's like Rock Man.
I don't know.
Iceman.
I don't know what they could throw in. I mean, hopefully they. Well, first, I don't think Ewoks ruined it. I loved Ewoks.
All right, that's
great.
why I said it's an arguable point because I loved them too. But I was like,
but hopefully they learned their lesson from Jar Jar. I mean, Jar Jar could have been a cool character. It's just why that voice. I mean, that's just. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I didn't mind him, but then when I saw it a second time, I started cutting my eyes out with a spoon.
So I'm going to tell my Jar Jar story real quick.
Okay, tell your Jar Jar story.
Okay, so I was out in Los Angeles last year, and I actually worked with Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar, on a couple of short films. And the tragedy of this story is that Ahmed Best was beloved by everyone in the cast, and everyone, including George Lucas, thought this was going to be his big breakout role, and they thought Jar Jar was going to be like the next Han Solo or something. And he had his hopes built up really, really high. Nicest guy on the planet, coolest guy to work with. And then the movies came out and just, utterly despised by everyone in the Star Wars
Did not
canon.
see that coming. They totally hate you.
It's just a very sad, sad story. He could not be a nicer guy. And I believe he's getting into production now more than acting. But he's an amazing musician. He does great voices, obviously. A great actor and just a great guy.
Well, it's just a shame that everybody he worked with thought he did a great job, and they all liked the character. It's just like, how does one person...
Last day on set, they're crying because Jar Jar's last line is said, they're like, oh my gosh, changed my life. Changed my life. Can't wait till the movie comes out.
Man, this is your big break.
High fives, slow motion high fives, freeze frames.
Oh, definitely.
Next day, movie comes out. That's how fast editing takes place.
Just end it like The Breakfast Club. You're just...
Yeah, Jar Jar. Yeah, Jar Jar.
Jar Jar spinoff movie. It's happening. That's what I want to see.
That would be heart-crushing,
But
though.
he's a mute. He just points.
That would be so heart-crushing, though. If you really put your all into something and everybody's like, yeah, this is going to be great. You're great, man. Everything's going to be great. And then everybody hates you. That's rough.
That's my everyday life.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
And for the record, I think they are going to ruin it. I think they have not yet learned their lesson. There's going to be some other kind of anthropomorphic cat walrus thing, like you said, some kind of fish dog.
Cat walrus.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Did somebody say anthropomorphic?
We did.
And there's Todd with the word of the day.
Anthropomorphic. Please explain. What does that mean?
Do we have confetti? No, we didn't bring confetti.
Please explain what that means. Anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic means when you give human qualities to something that isn't normally human. For instance, Mickey Mouse is an anthropomorphic mouse.
Cool. Thank you.
I don't know who that is.
And now you know, and knowing is half the battle. So last week, a couple of weeks ago, a video was going around the internet. Patton Oswalt, who's a comedian, did this great 8-minute long outtake. He was shooting a show and he needed to come up with a filibuster.
Right.
So he filibustered giving his version of what a Star Wars expanded universe would look like. And in his particular version, Thanos used the reality ring to merge the Avengers and the Star Wars universes together. So,
anyone catch that? Funny video, by the way.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. What do you think the coolest version, or the coolest version of a Star Wars crossover universe would be?
Okay, so I prepped about 4 hours for this particular question. I was pretty excited about this question.
Lay it on us.
So ready, everybody, comic book store, expanded universe, Star Wars. Ready? I would love to see the Green Lanterns and all the different Lantern Corps take place inside Star Wars. Anyone else with me? One guy in the back. No. Thank you.
I am definitely with you on that. So how do you see that working?
You just see the Jedis, different Jedis teaming up with different crews. I think it'd be cool to see the Jedis team up with the Green Lanterns, or even more so, the Blue Lanterns, the Lanterns of Hope, because they're kind of like similar, kind of like that monk mentality. Like they're. Do I get a shout out for Blue Lanterns? Yeah,
Blue
Saint
Lanterns
Walker. Yeah, St. Walker. I'm the comic book nerd of the group.
Yeah, we're all like, tell us, Brandon. We don't know this basic trivia about the
Okay, so basically, for those of you who don't know about the Lantern Corps, there is the Green Lanterns. The Green Lanterns
Tell
are...
us in about 3 minutes because we got
The Green Lanterns are the core of will. The Blue Lanterns are the core of hope. There are the Indigo Tribe, which is compassion. And the Star Sapphires, which is violet, which is love. On the other side of the spectrum, you have the Yellow Lanterns, which are fear. You have the Orange Lantern, which is avarice.
Are we fact-checking
greedy.
this?
Avarice? Okay.
Greediness. And then you have red lanterns, which are rage, anger, hate. There's also black and white, which is life and death, but those aren't really emotions, but we just kind of take it as is. I deserve it. I deserve it.
Yeah, get it up for him.
So, but it would be really cool to see the Sith team up with maybe like...
the Reds?
Well, I could see like Darth Maul would be a cool combo with like the red lanterns, because he's very hateful. But I see
yellow,
Darth Vader.
right?
Darth Vader would be cool with fear, I think. You know, Jabba the Hutt with the greedy
Avarice?
aspect of orange.
Nice.
It come to him would be really cool. Yeah, no, there'd be a lot of cool stuff. That's my whole thing. So I think Green Lanterns meet the Jedis. Awesomeness.
Yeah, that is cool. Matt, what do you think?
Story ends.
Well, I didn't prepare that much for it, but I think if you're shifting into video game, which is obviously my thing, I'd like to see him Star Fox and Star Wars.
Nice.
go
Star
together.
Fox.
I mean, one, it takes place in space, but they also, Star Fox Adventures, they go to a planet, drive tanks, on foot, all that kind of stuff. Plus, Andros is really cool, and I think he's the same size as the Death Star. So imagine both of them firing on something. That would just be amazing.
Oh, like
Yeah.
an Andros versus Death Star movie?
Yeah, just
That'd be
imagine,
awesome.
just imagine the Death Star shaped like Andros, and it opens up and just shoots beams out.
That would be cool.
I would cry like a child.
I think it'd be cool to see X-wings with the what are the planes called in Star Fox? Do you know? R-wings, X-wings. I mean, thank you. Any Star Fox fans in the audience?
Woo! Nice.
The X-wings are. I like it. Thank you. You got more cheers for yours than I did for Green Lanterns,
Yeah, I
and we're in
know.
a comic
We've
book
got
store.
Star Fox fans
I'm
in
just
the
saying.
house.
I don't know how that happened.
Owned.
Thank you. I'll take that one.
All right, guys, so picture this. There's an epic battle happening in space between the last ships of the Rebel Alliance, or the last ships of the Empire, and a new force of the Rebel Alliance. But oddly enough, the Empire is winning, right? So the Empire is about to take the Rebels down.
Sounds good.
One of the ships crashes into the Hoth planet, and a glacier cracks open. 5 multicolored robotic tigers or lions come shooting out into space.
Yes.
And then they form together to form
Voltron.
Defender of the Universe.
Voltron.
And he manifests his sword and just pretty much takes out the entire remaining Empire ships. And then pretty much continues to rule stuff for the next 3
I
movies.
rescind my Green Lantern hope and move on to Voltron.
Wouldn't that just be the coolest?
Yeah,
I'm now
I
going
mean,
to Voltron.
overall, that would, yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Do that live action, not animated.
Nick earns the points for this round.
Why, thank you. So let's move on into some other news from the Star Wars universe. And there, alongside these movies, there actually is some cool stuff happening in the universe. Well, I guess some bad stuff first, which is the closing of LucasArts.
Boo.
Which means the limbo of, what was it, Star Wars 1313?
Yeah. Yeah.
So essentially, if you guys missed it, LucasArts just officially closed all their doors, laid everyone off, and discontinued all current production and put everything kind of in limbo, including this epic Star Wars game that was coming out. You want to talk about that for a second? What it was supposed to be?
Well, 1313, I believe, was supposed to focus on the bounty hunters, right, Brandon?
I played a couple video games.
So we collectively we know nothing about
that wasn't a right
1313.
response. It's like, don't tell me what to do.
I played a couple video games.
There was a game, and people were looking forward to it, and now it might not happen.
The only thing I was interested in with LucasArts, I was holding off for a Dark Forces remake. That's what I
And
wanted.
I was hoping for a Full Throttle sequel.
Or they could do a Dark Forces Full Throttle combo in the Shadows of the Empire universe.
Guys, Masters of the Terracasi 2, the video game.
I don't know what is
Any
that?
Masters of the Terracasi fans out there? Absolutely none.
Any
It was
Full
a
Throttle
whole-
fans in the house? All right,
Still none.
anyone born before 1990 in the house, because otherwise you would not have remembered that.
All right.
It was a biker RPG, or BRPG, as we like to call it, at Played Out Podcast. and it was by LucasArts, and it was amazing.
Mike RPG.
They did some good games. They did some horrible games, but I mean, they'll be missed. I think with the new Star Wars being rebooted, I think they could have done something cool. But hopefully, they have a reason for closing it, and they're going to move on to something even better.
Matt, there's a reason for everything.
I doubt that.
Wow. And the audience dispersed.
Yeah, exactly. Way to kill the...
I doubt that.
So, all right, moving on into a more pleasant subject. This is actually really cool. Dark Horse is doing a mini-series of the original Star Wars drafts. So Han Solo is going to be a big green alien, Chewbacca is going to be some kind of weird mutant, and lightsabers are going to be called laser swords.
Laser swords.
Oh, yeah. They are taking George Lucas's original drafts of the original, the 4, 5, and 6, and they're going to make a comic adaptation of it.
That's awesome.
And supposedly this is full-on happening. They've already got an artist booked, I think, and a writer as well. So we can expect this pretty shortly.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I think that's going to be
awesome.
cool.
Did you say Han Solo was an alien?
Yeah, Han Solo originally was supposed to be some kind of weird green alien with like no nose. And
he was originally supposed to be Greedo, and he shot himself first.
Star Wars Underworld, a live-action drama set between episodes 3 and 4, is a TV show that I think that's in development right now, and it's going to focus on more of the side characters of the Star Wars universe.
I'm worried that they're going to be really flooding us with way too much Star Wars stuff way too quick.
You think too much Star Wars is a bad thing?
Yeah, I'm really worried they're going to flood us with awesome stuff, too. No, I actually do agree. It is true that when you have a bunch of stuff coming out at the same time.
I mean, let the first movie come out or the second one, and like see how and then bring it. But I think if you're just launching all this stuff,
test the audience, see if they actually like Star Wars. I mean, we have no idea if this whole Star Wars thing's going to take off.
Yeah, you guys think they're going to flood us with too much Star Wars? Yes, one person. Everyone else like, we don't really care. One person's like, yeah, probably.
Are you guys almost done?
We're waiting for the improv troupe.
Don't worry, the improv troupe will be on right after us.
Yay!
Okay, so that's one show. There's another show this is a weird one. So there's supposedly a Star Wars animated series called Star Wars Reclamation that is supposedly in development, but the only way we know about this is that an employee from Lucasfilm, quote-unquote, leaked the first, I think, 10 pages of the show's Bible online, but there's no way to confirm whether or not it's actually a real thing.
Any idea what they're going to reclaim?
I have no idea.
I could have said reclaim, but I went with reclaim.
And so with that, I think that brings us to the end of our time here. So why don't we talk about some things we learned today?
The 60-second cooldown.
The 60-second cooldown.
The 60-second cooldown, where we actually have to go back and try to remember what the heck we just talked about.
I learned that in the new movies or whatever, you had the idea of the two Jedi kids, one bad, one evil. That's actually in the books. I didn't know that was actually a thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting.
I learned that Matt's expanded universe would involve Star Fox, which I think is awesome.
Most of the stuff we learn is about Matt, by the way.
Yeah.
I learned that Matt would love to see a film. He'd be the first in line for a film about a gender-confused Jabba the Hutt. That would be the movie he'd want to see.
I learned that one of the original Raiders for Star Wars is being brought back on board.
And I learned his name.
Warwick Davis or something?
Warwick Davis was an Ewok.
Oh.
Lawrence Kasdan.
There we go, Lawrence Kasdan.
I learned all of that stuff about the Rings of Power from DC Universe. And the only one I remember is that Red is... No, I don't even remember Red.
Okay.
But I remember it's like hate or anger.
I learned off that, spinning off what you just said, I learned that at a comic book shop, you're far more likely to find Star Fox fans than you are Green Lantern fans. True. I'm just saying.
And I learned that after trying to remember more than two things, for me, it's just not possible.
So Matt is out.
And I learned that this gentleman's name is Brandon.
Hey, that's not fair. I said that. All right. I'm going to give it...
I forgot.
I'm going to give it over to you, Nick, because I ran out of them. You win the 60-second cooldown.
You always say that when you give up. You're just like, oh, Nick wins, whatever. Why can't we give this one to Matt?
Because Matt forgot, too.
I am gender confused.
Okay.
Give it to me. That's all.
And that's the Play It Out podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
This is all I have. Let me have it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys, for sitting in with us. We're going to be here every other Wednesday, so I think our next podcast is going to be, the 15th of May?
Maybe the 15th?
Yeah, the 15th of May.
I'm here every Wednesday.
This was our inaugural episode. Check us out on iTunes at the Played Out Podcast, and we look forward to seeing all of your bright, shining, happy faces the next time.
Thanks
again.
everybody.
Starship Troopers forever.
Starship Troopers forever.